Tree appraisal, the assignment, and the effective date. In our last episode, we looked at the professional guardrails, the CTLA, and the 10th edition guide. Today, we're moving from the what to the when. If you talk to any veteran consulting arborist, they'll tell you that the most dangerous part of an appraisal isn't the math. It's the setup. It's how you define the assignment before you ever leave your office. Today, we're talking about the scope of work, and the concept that often trips up even the most seasoned arborists, the effective date. Let's set the scene. You get a call. A homeowner is distraught because a utility company just V-cut their favorite heritage oak. They want a value. They want a check. Your instinct is to grab your diameter tape and drive over there. But wait, before you turn the key in your truck, you have to define the assignment. According to the 10th edition, an appraisal is only as good as its data and its scope. The scope of work is your contract with reality. It defines exactly what you will do, and just as importantly, what you won't do. Are you performing a Level 2 basic assessment? Are you doing a trunk formula calculation? Are you including a site contribution analysis? If you don't define the scope, the client, or worse, a lawyer, will define it for you later. Now let's talk about the effective date. This is the when of your appraisal. In most of our work as arborists, we deal with the present. We see a tree, we assess it, we write a prescription. But in appraisal, the current date, the day you are standing there with your clipboard, is often not the effective date. There are 3 types of dates you need to know for the TPAC. First, there's the current effective date. This is easy. What is the tree worth right now? Second, there's the prospective effective date. This is for developers. What will this landscape be worth in 5 years when the construction is finished? But the third one is where the real skill comes in. The retrospective effective date. Retrospective appraisals are the bread and butter of litigation. A tree was cut down 6 months ago. The neighbor is suing. You are hired today. Your effective date is the day before the chainsaw hit the wood. Think about the challenge there. You are looking at a stump, or maybe just a patch of dirt where a stump used to be. You have to provide a credible opinion of what was there. This is where you become a forensic arborist. You're looking at old photos from the homeowner's backyard barbecue. You're zooming in on Google Street View images from 2 years ago. You're measuring the diameter of the stump and using allometric equations to estimate what the canopy spread would have been. If you don't get the effective date right, your entire valuation is built on a foundation of sand. The market conditions, the nursery prices, and the tree's condition must all be pinned to that specific moment in time. Let's talk about the data side of the assignment. When you are out in the field, you aren't just collecting numbers, you're collecting evidence. If you're appraising a tree for an insurance claim, you need to document the pre-loss condition. Was the tree already leaning? Did it have Ganoderma bracket fungi at the base? If you find evidence of significant decay in the remaining stump, that impacts the condition rating of your retrospective appraisal. You can't just assume every tree that was cut down was a perfect 100% specimen. That's not being an appraiser, that's being an advocate. And as we learned in episode 1, an appraiser must be an unbiased objective party. Here's a technical tip. Always distinguish between fact and assumption. In a retrospective appraisal, you are making extraordinary assumptions. You are assuming the tree was healthy based on the evidence you found. You must state those assumptions clearly in your report. If you don't, and it turns out the tree was half dead before it was cut, your credibility and your appraisal will vanish in a heartbeat. So how do we pull this all together? Before you start the math, you write down your assignment details. Who is the client? What is the intended use? What is the effective date? Once those are locked in, you determine your approach to value. Will you use the cost approach, where you calculate the price of a replacement? Will you use the sales comparison approach, looking at how much more a house with a tree sells for than a house without one? Or will you use the income approach, common in commercial orchards, where the value is based on the future revenue the crop will produce? Most of the time, we use the cost approach, but the TPAC wants you to know why you chose it. Defining the assignment is like calibrating your compass. If you're off by even a degree at the start, you'll be miles off your target by the time you reach the final dollar amount. In our next episode, we're going to look at the physical side of this, measuring the asset. We'll talk about the 2022 updates to measurement heights and why the difference between 6 inches and 12 inches can change everything. Until next time, keep your evidence organized and your dates effective. You've been listening to the Arborist-podcast. Our goal is to grow our collective knowledge, one domain at a time. If you enjoyed the podcast, please like, share, and subscribe to help us keep this momentum.